Dear Cruz, here's a good video to put on this channel. Watching YouTube. Now this is YouTube. And a lot of times, you'll have to excuse my lighting. For some reason, this camera wasn't happy with the lighting that I have over here when I got light over there. And the light, it was using the light from that side of the room that I have dimmed out because I'm not over there, I'm over here. And I don't want the brightness to be that huge because I am using, I forget what you call these kind of curtains, where if the whole room is lit up, then everybody's looking at you like they're watching a movie. But if the room is dark, then nobody can, you can see them, but they can't see you. You know, and that's the kind of curtains I have. I think they're called blackout curtains. Anyway, that light there needs to be fixed or either replaced. I'm probably going to replace it. I love these little, what they call LCD lamps, or I've been using them for some time now. All of them in here work fine, except that one decided to, one day I came home and it just went out on me. It blew out on me, and then I plugged it in later on, days later, and it just was going in and out of light, and then it held. But now it's like whenever I turn it off, it's like it has to heat up or something. Anyway, let me get to the video. You can see me, I can see you. The heck with it, right? Cops, I'll be honest. It's always easy to say that, you know, as a conservative, to say that cops are being, or the innocent ones all the time when they are dealing with hard criminals and when they're dealing with, you know, black folks, because I have to say that because I'm black, and that's what I talk about. Black folks that don't know how to act, you know. And sometimes black folks that don't know how to act, once they get hyper, there ain't no shutting them up. There ain't no trying to get them to understand or nothing. I've seen this on the job. Like you know, if a black person on the job gets upset for whatever reason, whether it be a coworker or a boss, okay, it's going to escalate to something thicker. If somebody on the job is a black person, get mad at you, they're not going to let it go. You know, if they get reported, or if the boss deal with them or whatever, they're not going to just deal with it in a calm, mannerly, mature fashion. So let's get that out of the way right now. You know what I'm saying? Watch the video by the Hodge twins where it seemed like the two Hodge twins got in a heated discussion over the guy being asked to leave McDonald's and finding out that his check wasn't there. And his boss told him he can get his check on a Sunday when he should know better than that. The boss made a mistake. He didn't look at the calendar. No, you'll get it on Monday. Come back tomorrow. But he got fired, and he came back to get his check. Okay? That right there is something that black folks need to change. Okay? Put some goddamn money in the bank. Okay? Leave some money in the goddamn bank. Don't go to work and then spend all your money. The money that you work for should not be your bread and butter every day. Okay, you should have a savings account. You should have a checking account. That is the American way to do things. That's why we have banks. That's why we have checkings and savings. That's why saving money is for everybody. Rich people all the way down to the poorest people. I mean, it should be common sense to us. It's not. I just recently was trying to save money and I couldn't save any because all my money went to one thing, and now I'm all caught up, and now I can save up to making sure that bill is paid on time instead of it taking all my checks. I'm still learning too, black folks. I'm learning just like a lot of y'all need to learn. I'm learning too. So for that guy to come there and want his check on a Sunday, and who goes up to the McDonald's counter where you order food to get a check? I think that was inappropriate too. Now, the people there at the McDonald's, they talked to him like he never worked there before. They talked to him like he was a bum. Well, you need to leave. Just go. And that ain't the McDonald's that you see in a lot of videos. You know what I'm saying? This video was calmer than a lot of other videos, because usually you go in there to get a check or something, and usually some fries. And them fries ain't hot enough, or they ain't salty enough, or they're coming late. Somebody climbing over the counter, somebody throwing something at the, people, the staff, somebody throwing chairs. You tell me. Now the Hodge twins got in a heated discussion because one of the Hodge twins felt that the Patriot twins, or whatever they're calling themselves now, they keep bouncing back and forth and young, but on what they call their channel name. But I'm talking about the conservative twins, okay? Trump boys, the light-skinned Trump boys, okay? A lot of people are calling them, but they've been doing YouTube a long time before Trump ever came around. So they're not Trump boys. They're conservative boys. Their channel is all about conservatism. It don't matter who's in office. But the thing is, they got in a heated discussion today, and I was thinking, man, this is getting heated. Like, is this the end of the Hodge twins? Is this the end of of the show? They got in a heated discussion over this. Well, the one guy that basically, I didn't know this. I thought this is, like the one Hodge twin said, this is a two-man show, dude. He said, but this is my show. No, we're not going to go back and do this. And to me, you should talk about all that before the show. Now the guys, the two gentlemen in the background that are, controlling the sound and audio and video, they were having these little cheap laughs like, okay, like, are you just really getting mad at each other on the show? Like, is he really getting mad at you? And they summed it up near the end, but, he did go back and look at it, and that even made it louder. I do believe that this is the thing. This is what I want to talk about right here. I do believe that the people in McDonald's escalated, and so did the cop. And I think that you shouldn't be able to put handcuffs on somebody, just because, like, if someone says you need to leave. I agree with the one Hodge twin on this. He left. He said, I'm leaving. And so, instead of, like, they do this on my job all the time. We ask somebody to leave. And, okay, as long as they calm their voice down, All right, they want to act like they calling Uber when I know they ain't got no money to get an Uber. They want to act like they, you know, they want to act like they need a minute when they got no business there. They got nothing there. There's nothing there for them. You got to understand. I understand that I don't walk in their shoes. What would make me, if I was homeless, would I sneak into somebody's building? Especially in this cold weather out here, would I sneak into somebody's building and try to hide somewhere? Yes, I would. It's cold, man. We're going to die out here. You know, but when you're asked to leave, you want to do it slowly. I used to let that bother me. I don't let that bother me no more. I'm going to stand there, okay, and just wait for you. You know that, you know, I'm going to let you think you can play this game with me because you know you go forward, you try to walk past me, it's going to be a problem. And you know if you go to acting out, then, you know, you go walking out, then you make a left or a right instead of going straight out, that's going to be a problem. But they can do that at any time for any reason, you know. And there's people that are so mature about their mistake that I walk away while they're walking out. I ain't got to escort them out. I let them know they got to go. The cameras will let me know if they left or not because I just believe that they realize they got caught and they're being mature about it, and so they need to leave. You know. But one thing I've learned to do is watch how I talk to people when they trespass because I can't afford the place either. I'm just working there. And it's not really my property, it's their property. The people, you know what I'm saying, they make sure that, you know, imagine if they were there. If they had if there was no security, there would be security there. There'd be an armed officer there or something there to make sure that, you know, whoever's coming in there ain't a problem. And get them out of here as quickly. But I just think that we get overboard with, I think everybody's at fault here. That's just what this video is about. Everybody's at fault today. It ain't just black folks anymore. I'm watching these YouTube videos and I'm seeing the way these cops are dealing with people. The guys off the property, like if I'm trespassing, okay, and you ask me to leave and I leave, that's it. Now, if somebody is clear across the parking lot, they're off the property, you don't need to make them leave the entire place. Maybe they want to go eat at a different restaurant. Maybe, you know, he come all the way over there to get a check. You know what I mean? No check. Which he should have been smarter to ask questions before hauling over there acting a fool. But he's clear across the parking lot when the cops escorted him out. He's clear across the parking lot. If he wants to go to another restaurant and get him some ice cream for his pain of no check, if he want to go to a different McDonald's or a Wendy's or go to some other restaurant, he don't work at all of them. So he ain't got no reason to have an attitude with all of them. Let him go in there and eat. Let him go do something different. Now, I understand because I've done this. I've been through this for years, especially when it comes to employee against bosses and supervisors and all like that. If a person has a problem with what their boss or their co-worker is saying or whatever, they need to completely leave. I understand. Like, we're not going to let you go and think you're going to hang out at Wendy's next door until the cops leave, and then you're going to come over here for another round too. You know. And people have done that. Like, I've had that situation at my job. The cops come there. They tell the man's nice about it. Okay, all right, I didn't mean to cause you no problems. We had a guy recently who walked in there. It wasn't him or his girlfriend, I guess. A woman came in there because she was trying to get away from him. And she walked in there and called security. We thought she was a guest. Ain't either one of them a guest. She's just some random woman that walked in there to get away from some random dude. Why is the dude black? Why is the black dude going to come in there and act a fool like that? You know, I've seen couples, white couples, go off on each other on vacation and really, really act a fool. But, you know, I mean, this is the end of the end. You're not going to go home together. And whatever plans you had for this weekend are just destroyed. So, of course, they're mad. You know, of course, they're upset. Of course, you know. And I've had to stand between some tall, 6-foot, muscle-bound white men that are about to beat the snot out of this little tiny white girl, you know. And I'm thinking, man, y'all worse than black folks up in here, you know, with this sometimes, you know. So it used to be a black thing, I think. Not no more. White people are, you know, I mean, and as far as crime, I mean, the immigrants that are coming into this nation are more criminal than black folks. I mean, they're raping little teenage minors around the clock and pointing guns at people around the clock. And how does America let this happen? How does America let this get across our borders? This is not about the Republican Party. This is about all of us. Like, how does America let this kind of crap come into our borders? We have enough trouble with black folks. I'm not trying to be, you know, it's just the truth. We have enough trouble with black folks that, you know, never been where they supposed to be. That just don't understand life, just don't understand, you know, just grew up and without their parents or whatever. They just don't understand what's going on. They have no clue what morality is or what it means. Like, they just have no moral code. And they're just uncharted. They're just so barbaric and so out of touch with reality. Like, God. But this is the problem, cops. I'm black too. How many times did I report a crime and almost get arrested for it? Oh, well, you should just leave. Go back inside. How you going to know what's going on if I'm not here to report it? If I'm not here to explain things? I don't tell the lady over the phone everything. And what escalated between the time me and her hung up and your butt's coming over here? You got to talk to me. You don't just switch, go back inside. Oh, it's my problem now. No, it's not your problem. It's still my problem. You're the savior. You're the one that's going to save the show. You're the one that's going to save the day, cop. You're not going to go out there and charge that man for something he didn't do. Oh, so now you're going to take what I call the cops about. I called the cops because the man's drunk and he hit somebody's car. He hit my partner's car. You're going to come and you're going to make it about you. And that's wrong. Oh, tell me to go back inside, and then the next thing you know, the man say some things you don't like. Forget about what I'm preaching about. Oh, you're going to put him in cuffs. I'm not trying to put the man in cuffs. I'm trying to make sure the man pays. I'm trying to make sure the man pays for his I'm trying to make sure the man pays for his crime. It don't involve going to jail. I mean, he hit another man's car. Now, Thank God nobody was in it. It was parked. But I don't think you go to jail for that. I think, but I notice cops today, a lot of times they escalate stuff. Not just with black folks, with everybody. Black folks escalate stuff too. And a lot of times people think you cowering out if you don't want to yell. I don't want to yell. Okay? I say what I got to say. Are you done? Because, I'm going to let you and scream and holler and rail and all that stuff. And then I'm going to let you know again, okay, this is a situation. You need to leave. This is a situation. You just got, your boss wants you to go home, bro. It ain't my job to figure it out for you. Your boss wants you to go home. I don't need to call the cops. You just need to leave. There you go. You just need to leave. But a lot of cops today, first of all, I've noticed in my life as well as some of the stuff that's happening on YouTube. You gotta watch YouTube. You gotta be careful. But some of the stuff, you can't make it up. Because I've been in situations where cops have pulled me over, and I've never been in prison. I've never been arrested for anything, but the only thing I've ever went to overnight court for, it wasn't even an arrest. They just took me in and made me spend the night in a holding cell. It's not even jail, it's a holding cell. Was for traffic, for not paying court fees on traffic violation, like for speeding. Okay? And I've never raised my voice at a cop or lost my temper with a cop. But today's cops, I'm so afraid when I look at these YouTube videos that they're posting. I'm afraid my day is coming where I will actually finally act black. I will be like, what you arresting me for? And then the thing is like, when you go into somebody's town, there's questions. When cops pull you over, it could be for something like a headlight or a tail light or an inspection sticker. There's cops that make it act, they don't know the difference between harsh criminals and misdemeanors, and they treat everything the same. If a cop has to pull you over or approach you at all and say anything to you, he loses it. Because number one, I do believe that out of every precinct you have the nice guys. Now, like on my job at night, there's guys that come that are very, very nice. And the good thing about our overnight guys is there's a supervisor that comes. And he's very, 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 very he's very, very calm and relaxed. Like, he's been going through this too long. He doesn't yell. He doesn't stick his chest out. He doesn't demand things that he's not qualified to demand from you or anything like that. He doesn't come in there, the first thing he wants to do is ask you for your license. Oh, what if I don't have a license? Okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some cops are not being trained. Like, the first thing you do when you enter a scene is not to ask somebody for their personal information. What are you asking me for my license for? We're not in a car. You didn't pull me over for speeding. Oh, you need to know who I am. Why? Because I was there. Not because I did anything wrong. The crime's over there, bro. So you're going to go attack all these people that are standing around or these people that called you. That's one of the things that really makes me mad. When I'm the one that called the cops and they get into it with me. Well, we're here now. Well, you're here now, okay? It's my case. Until you make it your case, bro. You got to make it your case. I'm the victim. Oh, you're going to make it about you. Next thing you know, a brother's in jail for something I ain't even accused him of. Oh, because he got on your white nerves and got you all pissed off. Oh, that's why you should have spoke to me and got the information from me. I'm not drunk. I can maintain here. And this is the kind of stuff, when I see this stuff on YouTube, I remember, and it gets me upset. Because as much as a Republican, a conservative, a Christian, I want to defend cops. As a conservative, that's my job. I have to defend cops. I have to defend white people. See, that's where, yes, we have to defend white people. Why? Because white people are being deleted from America. They're like, if we delete white folks, we delete America. Because ain't nobody going to replace white people. You can kill them and get rid of them, but you can't replace them. Okay? They are the seniority. Hate to say that. But they are the seniority, not in seniority like on your job. But they were here first. Okay, after they took it from the Indians, they were here first. And besides, the Indians wasn't going to do nothing with 50 states. This beautiful land that we live in, 50 states of freedom. 50 states to the same flag. You're not going to get that by just having Thanksgiving dinner. There's going to be some war. There's going to be somebody, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And it's not just, people do it every day with business. People buy you right out. Somebody pull up you got AutoZone across the street and Advanced Auto Parts. I saw this in my hometown. And I would ride by there every day and I would just get mad. Why would AutoZone do that? Why would you move yourself directly across the street and compete against Advanced Auto Parts? And guess what happened? Advanced Auto Parts had to move out. Because they were losing business by AutoZone being right across the street. And I would go to both of them and I would see how they competed back and forth to each other. Advanced Auto Parts had to cut their prices for certain things to compete against AutoZone. AutoZone had to keep adding to their features in order to compete against Advanced Auto Parts. Advanced Auto Parts ended up moving their store to another part of New Kensington. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. They're both the same exact kind of setup. How you going to, what I'm saying? But it happens. This is how people that don't have begin to have. It's called capitalism. It's called business. Okay? It was the city that gave them the choice of being, okay? Then it right down a mile down the road, right there in the neighborhood, the one that I used to go to and get great deals. Oh, the minute Advanced Auto Parts showed up, they was gone. Nobody wanted to go to that little mom and pop's auto store anymore. And it was a good auto store. But the minute Advance showed up, they had to go somewhere else, or either they went out of business. They lost their business. Okay? The minute AutoZone showed up, Advance had to move somewhere else. After 3 years, they finally moved somewhere else because they were losing money by them being in the same district. So we lost our Advanced Auto Parts, which I enjoyed. I think some features at Advance are better than AutoZone. But we lost Advanced Auto Parts. They moved, I think, across the bridge or something like that. But what's my point in saying all that? My point of saying that is that going into a country is just like anything else. You see land, you take it. You buy it. And if the people there don't have what it takes, they're going to lose. Don't matter whether you black, you white, or whatever you are. You got to have what it takes. You got to have what the people need. Okay? And I really believe that for the white Americans, if that's what they were, to have guns, and Indians to have bow and arrows, I really do believe these white people, if that's what they were, tried to really, really be peaceful with them. And, and that's why to this day, Native Americans have their own properties and their reservations and all like that. But the problem with that is black folks. This is a free country. Why are Native Americans living on reservations instead of coming off the mountain and creating their businesses and creating their families and everything else, being part of American culture? And that's why, and they're up there in them reservations and they're just, having this false religion. Okay, which you'll get somebody put in slavery. You don't know that, but primal false religion, especially that's out of date. Nobody wears grass skirts anymore. Okay, that kind of religion will make you a slave. Someone's going to come and raid you doing that stuff. Don't do that. That's the way they taught us about Indians in school, okay? One day I woke up, I said, that's a racist thing. I ain't seen no Indians do that, okay? But I'm just saying, I don't want to hear your racist rant in a country like this. In another country that ain't as free, in a third world country, yeah, maybe. Don't blame the fact that you don't know how to work your freedom. Don't blame that on those that are free. I'm just saying, you're in the same free country, so you're free. Okay? Don't blame, because that's what I will never do. I will never ever blame anything in this country, in the United States of America. I will not blame whatever I don't have on somebody else, because until I am Advanced Auto Parts and AutoZone comes and makes me leave, okay, I'm not going to blame you because you just live a better life than me. You got it easier than me. You're richer than me. You come from a richer background than me. You come from a different side of the tracks than me. Have I done a complete study on your side of the tracks? Do I know anything about your side of the tracks other than, oh, you drive a nice car than me. Your wife looks better than mine. Your house looks better than mine. Your neighborhood looks better than mine. Is that a crime, or should I use that as an educational tool to help myself and to think about things in a more positive light and ask myself some hard questions as to why I'm sitting here going through all this? Okay? Now, in closing with these cops, I take back some of the, I do believe that the George Floyd situation could have been handled better. Did the cop kill George Floyd? I think George Floyd was going to die. He just made him die earlier. It was murder. He went to jail because of whatever George Floyd did. I think they made a good ruling on the George Floyd case. I don't know why we're still acting a fool about it. Whatever it was that George Floyd did, which I remember what he did, I'm not going to go into detail about it, but he did more than that. He had felonies and everything. And this is what happens when we don't arrest people immediately. We just escalate the situation. Okay. Oh, okay. You're going after a hard criminal now. Well, why are you letting a hard criminal come into my business when you already knew he was a hard criminal? You should have been arrested him. Now you're going to have to use all this deadly force and all like that because he's on crime number what? And he thinks you're a joke. And I blame that not on the cops, because the cops don't mind arresting you for my goodness, for anything. It's the people, behind the scenes, that are really, 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 really kind of dumb about it all, okay? The police commissioners and the mayor, those two. The people that direct the directors, the people that direct your police precincts and all like that. Somebody said something on YouTube just the other day. I was watching a cop incident. They said it all depends on what precinct. And it does. Because even here in Pittsburgh, I see cops one day, and I know these guys. I see them all the time. And then these guys come. And they just want to go after everything. So, like one precinct is allowing, racial, slurs and little racial fire bunnies. I remember when I worked at the hospital, different shifts, different officers, and certain days a week, certain officers get together and I'm thinking there's like a couple officers that would come to work. And when them two got together, the room was always about black folks. They didn't want to come out and say the word black, but they would mention names that are black names. And I'm standing there at the desk, doing my work, and they don't know. I wear hearing aids, so I can hear. I'm not deaf because I can't hear. I'm not hearing impaired because I can't hear. I'm hearing impaired because I have to wear hearing aids, which help me to hear, to bring my hearing up to normal, at least almost normal anyway. But y'all in there talking loud enough about, hey, I had to do this the other day and blah, 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 blah. Brother, I'm right here. I'm listening to you. Tyrone who? Mookie who? Huh? Those are black names. Okay, I know you talking about black people. And then these same guys, you know what I mean? It was like, if they say anything to me, if they say anything to me, it was always jokes. Jokes about, this and that, and, And don't get me wrong, like, sometimes black cops can put on such a show that don't nobody like them but racist white cops. You know what I'm saying? And is it right for me to say racist white cops? I've never really liked to say that until recently. And I really do believe that we do have racist white cops today. But this is the problem with racist white cops that black folks need to pay attention to. How you going to be a racist white cop when you never have to arrest black people? We know that cops are racist because they're always arresting black people, but they're not going to, hey, you know what, there's a black guy. Black guy standing there waiting on the light. Let's arrest him. That doesn't happen. There's a black dude. He's jaywalking across the street with his family. Did you see him? He walked right across the street when they had to wait for his. That's not happening. And a lot of times When the police bother you, it's because somebody complained about you that you'll never ever know about. Oh, they're going to protect him or her real good. But they saw what you was doing and they just sat there. Until somebody said, ring, 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 police. This black guy doing this, doing that. And they're sitting there watching your black behind. They're like, oh, man, we got to deal with this. And they go over there and they act racist because they don't want to deal with it. And they don't want to really go nowhere near your black behind. He didn't have to call you for something that was done and over with. You walked off. And you didn't take nothing with you but yourself. There was no reason for her or him to call the police. And I've seen this. I've seen this where, it's like, oh, a black man can't raise his voice a little bit. He can't. I mean, don't get me wrong. Black folks just escalate stuff. But there's many a case where, he's raising his voice a little bit at the doctor's office because they don't like his insurance. His insurance company didn't tell him that his insurance was canceled. Canceled for what? It comes out of my job. I don't edit it. Okay? I appreciate the way the people here at Allegheny General Hospital, and I'm gonna tell you, they are some, those people that work up there in the audiology department, the doctor's office up there, they tend to be a little bit. People don't realize how spiritual, racial biases and that are. But when I go in there, they always expect me. This is my problem with both blacks and whites. They expect me to be a problem. It's a doctor's office, lady. I'm here because I'm hearing impaired. I'm not even here to see a doctor. I'm here to see an audiologist. How are we going to make a crime out of that? But there's people that work that desk. One day I walked in and there was a lady standing there and I stood. She felt that I was standing too close to her. Well, the window's only that big. And I got to make sure that I'm up next, And when she reached over to sign a sheet, she looked at me like, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry. What am I sorry for? I'm thinking, what am I sorry for? I just backed up like, what am I sorry for? Like, I have to sign in. And the lady was like, you can sit down, sir. And I was like, well, I thought I had to sign in. But when it came to my loan company, I had a payday loan that I had posted in to my account for the money that I was going to need because my hearing aids, I didn't have no money in the bank and I need them hearing aids fixed like now. So I took out a short payday loan and they said it was in. Okay, I did it Sunday night and they said it was in. First thing Monday morning. Well, when they went to go into my account, it wasn't there until like an hour later after I got there. Way past 12 noon, So, it was supposed to be there first thing in the morning, And when they went to my account, it wasn't there and my services were already done. And some people will call the police on you for that. He's not paying his bill. He's walking out of here. We did this and that. We fixed his hearing aids. And I told the lady, I pleaded with the lady. I said, hey. She says, okay. Because she knows she's going to give me so many days and then she's going to charge me and they're just going to cancel me. I'm one Negro. They ain't got to worry about walking back in there. Because they just tell me don't come back until you pay your bill. That's all. She wasn't going to make a big deal about it. We're going to give your black behind so many, And I appreciate them. What I didn't like is when I came back and I did everything I told her I would do. I came back the next day and I made sure everything was clear. And I went to explain to the lady what happened. She didn't want to hear it. You know, like, oh, whatever, okay, you know, like, okay. I'm a good guy. I don't, you know, but I appreciate them not escalating it by treating me like a criminal, but they did treat me like there was some animosity there when I corrected it and came and fixed it. You think there's anything I can do about that? Not really. You cannot do anything about people disliking you, black folks, because of the color of your skin. Nobody dislikes you because of the color of your skin. People dislike you because of what the color of your skin represents. Okay? Somebody made a comment on, you know, what's his name? Colin Flaherty's dead now. He died. And I used to watch his channel of him showing you just how much black crime goes on around the world. But where I used to get mad is that his comment section would say crazy things about how we should deal with it. And I felt that, you know, and I don't think Colin Flaherty was trying to be racist. He was just trying to get black people as well as white people to wake up and really pay attention to this epidemic. And I followed him for a while, you know, until it got to the point to where he would respond to some of the people that were commenting in his comment section. And they having a conversation. Y'all might as well translate this into German. What are y'all talking about? It's English, but it looks like German. Like, what are y'all talking about? There's only one thing for you to say. Either you agree or you don't agree. Either there's a better way to deal with this, or the cops, you know, the guy was innocent or he wasn't, or whatever, you know. They want to say all kinds of stuff. And it's like, how racist can you be? You don't get to put that many words into some black guy, you know, finally ending up in jail after getting arrested for all these different things. You know, he finally got caught. Praise God. We started attacking the people that, how do you know? How do you know? Who's these other people? You don't know who else is going to come behind him and repeat it. Why are you talking about that? You don't know who did it before him and all like that. You looking at his crime and you adding this to the whole race. Even though partially that's true. Well, you can't say that. There's things you just don't say. And that's where I begin to have beef with Colin Flaherty. Because I'm like, you going to correct him or what? They're coming on your channel and using your channel to spit out their racist feelings against blacks. And a lot of times the video wasn't even about blacks. I mean, don't make the black kids angry was the main thing of his videos. But there were Indian people, and there were migrants like Spanish people. Oh, today, Colin Flaherty would say something like, well, today, we have something different and special for you. We're going to give the black folks a break and pick on the Spanish people today. And he show you where these Spanish guys are going out around, you know, Texas and California, raping little girls and all like that. Well, we got more of that going on now than we did back before Colin Flaherty died. But it is amazing how people can see. Just yesterday, and I know the scenario. I know. But I'm on the job. To some white people, it does not matter. And that hurts me to my heart. That breaks my heart. And I did a video about it. Even God has shown me to calm down and notice this. God showed me, the Lord God showed me how to monitor this about white people. He gave me a title. And the title is, let me think, because he gave me this dreams ago. And I had a dream about it, and it's true. He gave me a title, The Dog in the Room versus Black. Or I forget what the title was, Black versus the Dog. Or whatever, because white people have these ideas, these strange ideas that if you're black and you're walking towards somebody white, or you're walking within 5-10 feet of somebody white, and their dog loses it and they got to grab their dog, if they do it to a black person, it's because he's black. They're calling their dog a racist for them. They're calling their dog, they're saying their dog don't like black people. And they tell you the dumbest things. Well, all dogs don't abuse dogs. Like me, I don't even like dogs. Okay? And I've had 5 dogs. And I'm done. I'm done cleaning up after them. I'm done with them stinking up my house. I'm done with all the hair and the fur. I'm done with, them. I'm done with, I can't eat around them. I can't stand the smell. My days of doggy dog are over. Snoop just need to get out my face, because his last name is Dog. Get out my face, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a dog lover. But sometimes when I see certain dogs that are so well behaved, these these white people, they dogs sometimes too. These white people train their dogs so well, and they know, and they whoever they buy their dogs from, they spend money on their dogs. Us black folks, we just get a free dog, but they spend so much money on their dogs and their pets, and their dogs are so friendly and so funny and all like that. But the minute, and let me tell you something, the more you spoil a dog, the more protective over you he's going to become. He won't let nobody get within 20 feet of you if he ain't family. Trust that. You spoil a dog, the more you spoil a dog, the more overprotective he becomes. Okay? And I'm walking. I'm on a clock. I'm walking. I'm wearing a suit. And this woman dog stopped and started growling and snapping at me, and I'm thinking, that ain't the kind of dog that's supposed to be in this hotel. Okay? And that's one of the policies that my job doesn't push enough. But she picked the dog up and looked at me like, you're going to be a problem. No, your dog's going to be a problem. You're not supposed to have canine units in the goddamn hotel. Okay? But I know from hearing it about 4 times in my life where a white person will tell me that their dog don't like me because of some black issue. I don't think dogs see skin color. And did Ted Bundy have a dog? Did Hitler have a dog? Does the highest criminals in the world have dogs? This is why you say a dog's a man's best friend, but really? He's not going to correct you when you're wrong. If you're a rapist, okay, and the dog knows you got a woman behind the door raping her in there, something miserable, and got her held hostage in there, you come out there and feed your dog, okay, and pet your dog and play with your dog. He gonna cuddle up to you like you done nothing wrong. Meanwhile, every time you go to that door, he gonna growl and snap. He hear her moving around in there. because you made sure that your dog is not friends with that victim behind the door. Okay? You didn't let your dog sniff her. You didn't let her pet your dog. You didn't, you know. So, you know, it's things like that that just kill me. You know, animals are not racist any more than they are gay. Just stop it. But because your dog don't know how to act, it's my fault as a black man. Because from other black dude. Okay? Was he wearing a suit and a badge and a company pen too? What is it? Just black folks, or is it black security guards? Or what's your problem? I get sick of that. Oh, you leave your dog unleashed, and if the dog jump on me, oh, it's my fault. I'm parked in front of my house, woman. Your dog, oh, well, you know, black people abused my dog when he was, you know, white people abuse dogs too? You tell me white people never abuse dogs? They got videos here on YouTube of white people abusing dogs. What are you talking about? Kicking them, throwing them, getting arrested for it, setting them on fire, doing all kinds of crazy things. Where the abuse comes in is when black folks get all these pit bulls together and teach them how to fight each other and teach them how to attack people, and that's all they're good for is going out there and attacking people. You know, they rank them to fight off cops in case, you know, cops knock on their door or whatever because they're a thug and they come knocking on their door or whatever. The pit bull will give the cops a chance to get away. If you got 3 or 4 of them pit bulls, you know. And who was the one that said that pit bulls should be annihilated? It wasn't no black man that said that. It's a white man that said that. That pit bulls should be a race of dogs that should be, you know, cut out because they're so dangerous. Okay? I think a Rottweiler is more dangerous than a pit bull, but in closing, I know I'm getting ready to close. Lord Jesus, I'm getting ready to close. Somebody bring the offering plate. I'm getting ready to close, but we got to take the offering. Be a cheerful giver, pressed down, shaking together, and running over. Oh, put in your 100-fold. 100-fold ain't in the Bible. Oh, yeah, 100-fold is in there. 1,000-fold is not in there. Put in your 1,000-fold. That's not in the Bible, bro. But seriously, it's crazy. And I've talked about this before on this channel and other channels, but I just had to say something about it again. I think that black folks need to do what I've been saying they need to do, and that is evolve. And cops, though, I think that cops do need to be reformed. They don't need to be defunded, but I do believe, like that one girl said that was attacking Morios in New York City, spray painting them and junk because they were stupid. Defund the police. Her black butt stood up for Trump on that. She went out there. She got arrested for it. She said, and while they was walking her off in handcuffs, she's like, "You don't need to defund the police. You need to refund the police." And they had to walk her off in handcuffs. But you see, they treated her like a lady when they did it. 2 white officers escorted her out. They treated her like a lady when they did it because they knew she's fighting for America. And that's what I want to be seen as. Whether I'm, whether I'm dealing with a guy that hit my car because he's drunk, or whether I'm dealing with a situation where somebody didn't know how to treat me, or they let an argument about Republicans and Democrats turn into a fight or some kind of crazy situation. I would like to think that cops understand that I love my country. But when they see this black face, they don't see that. They're just like, oh, here we go, another nigger. Because it don't matter if I'm wearing, and what bothers me, it doesn't matter if I'm working, if I'm wearing a suit, if I'm being calm and relaxed. Hey, shut up, I'm talking. Put your hands behind your backs. Yes, sir. Can I say one? No. I'm about to arrest you because they arrested this guy that I just watched. They arrested him because he ran his mouth too much. What precinct of what state or city allows you to do that? Now, what you're not showing in the video probably is the fact that why they decided to run him down. He's walking, he's minding his own business. And a lot of times blacks will do that. They'll sit there and they'll threaten somebody or touch somebody or do something wrong to somebody, and then they'll try to blend in the crowd or walk away like they just shopping at Walmart on a typical Sunday or something. And the cop says, hey, come here. And he's like, you ain't talking to me. Keep walking. Hey, stop. I need to talk to you. Keep walking. Okay, they ran up on him. They did not show in the video, and this is a white person on the video. They did not show in the video why they ran up on the dude. The cop felt a reason to run up on the dude, so he had to do something wrong. But I've been in situations recently, and this is why I'm changing my situation here, my position here, just one little bit. And that Rhonda Massey or Sandra Massey, or whichever one it was, that was ridiculous. But see, this is what you don't understand. He got fired and he got arrested. Okay? But what I don't like is when you get arrested just because the person was black. And there's white people out there now that are saying, a cop did this to me, he touched me this kind of way, he did this to me and got away with it. They wouldn't even allow me to go to court about it. I couldn't even, I went to go address it. They walked me out of the court building. They wouldn't even let me address the situation. They wouldn't let me defend myself. But now, if you just show up to ask a question, you will get reprimanded. And if anything is done without that body cam, or if anything is done without, a fellow officer there to back you, even if you're innocent, you will lose your frickin' job as a cop dealing with black folks in certain states and certain precincts. Like Philadelphia, for instance. Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. They pick up violent criminals who got a record, and they let them back out on the street the next day to assault somebody else. And when they finally do their time for their crimes, everybody's saying the same thing. Like, this could have been avoided if he had been fully arrested to the full letter of the law the first time he raped a woman. Somebody walked on my job not too long ago. I almost let him through. I didn't know the case. I didn't know that his picture was on the wall behind me. And my supervisor caught up with me and said, hold up. The cops were here for him yesterday. I'm thinking he's talking about outside of the company. No, this fool, and it was an African dude, it wasn't a black dude. Somebody said this on Colin Flaherty's channel. It's the brown skinned people, period. It's not just black folks. But everybody, Arabs, blacks, Haitians, Africans, everybody that has brown skin seems to be an issue. Well, I didn't grow up in an Arab neighborhood. And I've never had an Arab person give me any trouble other than a shh, hold on, man, I'm talking. You can go back home to your own freaking country and talk. I'm talking. I was talking first. Hey, sir, I just wanted to ask you, shh, I'm talking. That's what they all do. I said this on Facebook. Everybody got mad at me. I done lost subscribers. It's true. It don't matter whether you're arguing about the Bible, the job, or whatever. Sir, I didn't understand your English. Can you say it again? Shh, I'm talking. Okay. Shh, just listen. Shh. You're talking too much. Dude, I just opened my mouth. Shh, you're talking too much. Let me tell you. Let me tell you something. Well, okay, yeah, but sir, that doesn't. Shh. Listen to me. Hear me out. Shh. I've been hearing you out for the last half an hour. Man. And that's why I take Arab guys, the men, not the women, the men, very personal. Like, you know, shh. You know, you talking about Jesus. Well, do you believe in Allah? I believe in Jesus Christ. Shh. Allah. Okay. Allah. Okay. Allah. Well, look like you don't want to have a conversation. I'm gonna just go. Shh. Hey, come back here. Hey, come back here. You know. But, cops do need to be reformed. And that's not just in the city of Pittsburgh or the city of Philadelphia. I'm familiar with, but because I live here. But they need to be reformed everywhere, even in these small towns. I've seen cops try to tailgate me because I rode into their town. This is stuff that I never talk about as a conservative. But I was on vacation, and as a rent-a-car, my car had Ohio plates on it. So I'm riding through, where was that? I was riding through one of these little middle cities here in Pennsylvania. And I was on my way. This was when I think I was on my vacation in Allentown. And another time I was visiting Avalon. I forget which one it was. But this lady cop, I rode right past her and I looked at her and I kept on going. And I'm driving the speed limit. There's a car in front of me. Okay? I'm 1,000 feet behind him. And I'm just slowly coasting behind him. She saw me and I could see it in her face. I looked in my mirror like, ooh. And she just put her flashers on and got behind me. Then she turned her flashers off and she tailgated me all the way to the exit. She followed me on to the exit. I got off and got on the exit into the, I got on the highway. And she followed me for about a mile and then she was out of jurisdiction because she's out of her jurisdiction. But she was looking for a reason or going to pull me over for a reason that she was going to make up. The car is a rent-a-car. Everything in that car is working. And she was about to pull me over for nothing. And that's not the first time. When I used to ride through Apollo, here in, because I used to work out there. Don't know black folks live out there, but they work out there, It'd be 3 o'clock in the morning. It'd be 3 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning. And I got to the point where I stopped taking the shortcut or taking the scenic route and just started cutting through, going right instead of left and cutting through the other area. There's 2 ways to get to my job, so I got to the point where instead of doing the shortcut, I would take the main route and ride the highway home instead of cutting through all the 35, 45 mile little roads. Because they were always waiting there for somebody to be drunk driving or whatever. And you know what they let me go for one day? They pulled me over. They gave me like warnings after warnings for nothing. What did I do? So one day they pulled me over. They said, "You've been zigzagging on the road, sir. Are you tired?" I said, "Yes, I am." "Have you been drinking?" "No." "Where do you work at?" Now a lot of black folks would just flip out. Men, they say, "Where do you work at? Have you been drinking?" They flip out. But I said, "No, I've not been drinking. I am tired, though." I will agree with you there. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I just woke up. I'm on my way to work. And the dude said, "Yeah, you're kind of zigzagging on the road," so we were kind of concerned. I said, "It's 3 o'clock in the morning, sir. I'm tired." And he looked at me and he says, "Drive carefully." And he just left. Maybe I should have said that like 4 warnings ago. I was pissed this time. Like, man, y'all pulled me over again. Y'all pull me over almost every night. I'm sorry, I'm not that zigzagging that much that you need to pull me over every night. And you don't have to worry about drunk driving out there, because you drunk driving, you're gonna end up in the crop field, because there's nothing out there but farming. And these small little railings that's about the size of your tires. You go to spinning or something out there, okay, you're gonna be in the crop field. But cops do need to be reformed, is my point in this video, because they have lost touch with what is a good reason. Like, if somebody's angry, that's not a reason for them to get arrested. If somebody's already angry, whether they angry because they just black and black people act like that, or whether they angry for some other reason, okay, you cannot arrest somebody for being angry. And if you cut somebody off while they're trying to tell you their story, they're going to call you names. You can't arrest them for that either. I went to court one time because the cop pulled me over for speeding, and he had the nerve to talk about what we talked about. Yeah, that was your conversation, dude. You brought that up. Wasn't your business. Either I'm really speeding or I'm not. He couldn't show proof of me speeding, so he added to it. He added stuff at the last minute. And then he also went to talking about our conversation. The judge told him to get a life. The white judge, female judge, told him to get a life. What do you want? What is the sentence, officer, that you want me to place on this young man? Well, I think you should get rid of his driving record. I think he shouldn't be allowed to drive. She said, get a life. And this is what black people don't understand. Another time I showed up for court, and the cop took my car for nothing. Well, he made me leave my car there, which he doesn't have to do that. He could have let me drive my car home. And the judge said he could have let me drive my car home, being I didn't live that far away. But because my inspection stickers were off, I got to leave my car there. I could have took my car home. I live right around the corner. I could have took my car home. He refused. I had my daughter with me in the car. I said, what about my daughter? Are you going to make me and my daughter sit out here in the cold? He said, well, you better call somebody, because this car ain't going nowhere, So when I went to the judge the same thing. And the judge was a very nice lady. My ex-wife had to take me to the courtroom and explain everything. She had to take me to the court, and I had to explain everything to the judge. And again, the judge told this man to get a life. White people, white judges, okay, don't panic. Because a lot of white judges, okay, are smarter than the cops. And they're less arrogant and barbaric than the cops are. And I appreciate, women who know how to be hard and soft. The Judge Judy attitude doesn't work for everything. It works for a lot of things, but not everything. The Judge Mathis situation doesn't work for everything. It works for a lot of things, but not everything. Judge Joe Brown, that attitude don't work for everything. Okay? Because a lot of times we don't have enough time in one session to explain the innocence that is being covered up of the one that's considered the defendant. Okay? And if cops show up somewhere and they can easily see that the evidence is on your body, that you committed a crime. Okay? That's one thing. But you got how many black people out there tonight? How many black people out there today? And you start letting these other white people behind you point. So you go, oh, him? Okay. Hey! Okay. You grabbed the wrong guy. Yeah, I saw the crime. Well, I'm trying to get out of here. You know what I mean? Y'all ain't put me in the middle of this. Well, sir, you're in the middle of it because you were here. They did the same thing to my stepson. My stepson was the one that called the cops. His wife called the cops. He goes next door to see if the woman's okay, but he made sure that the cops were called because, he ain't trying to go over there and get shot. So he goes over there, and the man and his woman bring the fight out in front of his house. So he's arguing with the dude. You stupid cops. While he's arguing with the dude, that's time that he's not beating up on his wife. So the cops come. He's trying to tell the cops what's going on. Why are you out here? Go back in the house. My wife is the one that called you. Go back in the house. Get off the street. So now my stepson has this attitude towards cops, at least in our part of town, because they didn't have to act like that. You call the cops, they'll go off on you. This is getting bad. You call the cops on somebody, and it's clearly seen that a crime was committed. Somebody stole something. Somebody busted into something. Somebody got bruises and all that. You saved a life by calling the cops, and the cops found a way to make you a part of the crime. And then you wonder why a lot of black people say, I don't snitch. I stay out of other people's affairs. Oh, so if you see somebody being attacked or whatever, you ain't gonna stall for time. You ain't gonna try to intervene. Man, take my black behind to jail. Yeah, because I jumped in between some man raping some woman, and I tried to hold him there until you got there. I tried to, they called the cops for me. And now I'm not supposed to be out here. I shouldn't be out here. These are the kind of things that need to be reformed. You got to treat people that because I could went in the house, got my gun, shot the dude if I just wanted to be a thug about it. But I asked the man, I said, hey man, don't beat up on your own wife like that. You know what I'm saying? There's other things to beat up. There's a lot of criminals out there you could be beating the snot out of. Don't beat up on your wife. Get out my face, man, before you next, and blah, 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 you know. And the cops will come, sometimes in some places, in some cities and towns, every time, and find a way to put the person that called the cops. You know, there's times I called the cops, and the crime is right there in front of them, but they had to go look for me. Okay, well, I'm working, and so they come find me, and they say, oh, the cops, they finally showed up. Okay, I get there, hey, were you the one to call the police? I says, yes. Okay, well, where's the crime? Standing right behind you. Pay attention. He's right there behind you, still committing crime. Okay? It's just getting nutty with these cops, man. I mean, you know. And now, people are making YouTube channels based on cops making huge mistakes. And the people that need to be watching these videos are mayors and judges. And you know, IAs and all these people that are in charge of, you know, police. They need to be watching more YouTube. They need to watch more YouTube. They need to be watching what the crime looks like to bystanders. Because on the other side of the camera, the cop did more wrong than the criminal. The cop used somebody's crime to go out there and be some kind of trigger-happy, fist-happy, you know, cowboy. And inflicted wounds on somebody when the crime did not include any physical damage. You done slam somebody down on his head is bleeding, and all like this when the crime did not involve violence. He stole something. And you caught him red-handed. And because he asked a question, even though he gave the item back, you're going to slam him down on his head and, you know. Because he got smart. You know, cops can't wait to pull you out of your car. And nobody wants to get pulled over for going, you know, the speed limit's 25. You pull somebody over for going 30 or 35 when ain't nothing out there. Ain't nothing out there but you and him. You're going to pull him over like you don't do the same thing when on a Sunday morning when there ain't nothing out there. You don't go 35. You don't go 35 and 25. It's very hard to go 25 that long. Okay. You're gonna pull him over, and because he got a mouth on him, he gets snatched out of his car and beaten to a pulp before being arrested. And what was he arrested for? Oh, now and cops, I believe a lot of cops are doing this on purpose. If they have to go out and arrest you, or if they have to go out and walk up on you because you were speeding, or because you got smart with your boss or your coworker or whatever, instead of just making sure that you do leave, instead of making sure, they want retribution for having to show up. They want to show their feelings. And you're not allowed to do that, even if you have feelings. Even if you're highly opinionated about what happened, you're not to show any feeling whatsoever about the situation. You're supposed to make sure the situation is dealt with by the book and let it go. It don't matter what you think about black people. It don't matter what you think about Indian people or Africans. It don't matter what you think about that person and why that person got to always be a problem in our society. You got a right to think about it and maybe go home and talk to your wife about it. But what you don't get to do is escalate it by talking about it to the man's face. And then when he gets loud with you, now he don't want you putting your hands on him because he's fired up. Now you're going to hurt him because you think you have to, because he's mad. You got to hurt him and put cuffs on him. And what was just a dispute between two people turned into some dude getting arrested with a hole in his face. Cops need to be reformed. They don't need to be defunded, but they do need to be reformed. And the people that are reforming them don't need to be, dudes or women with racial biases. But they do need to be reformed. This crap that I'm seeing on YouTube, cops need to be reformed. They do. All over the world, all over America, they need to be reformed. Okay. God bless you. I am DeRoy Cruz. I am your Life Applications Officer, Area 1. Thank you for watching.